Look at this beautiful potato salad. This kind of redefines potato salad altogether. Brings together a harmony of flavors and vegetables that you just normally might not consider using in potato salad. So try out this southwestern version of a wonderful potato salad. Hello! Welcome back to Texas Cooking Today. On this episode of Texas Cooking Today, we're going to be doing a wonderful tasting dish called potato salad. Now, potato salad is something that we've all had. It's a delicious dish. And what I'm going to do is to take the most common version, in the South at least, for potato salad, and I'm going to bump it up a notch. We're going to get a little extra color, a little extra flavor, and turn it into something just a little bit more special than your average, boring, bland potato salad. So, let's give credit, first of all, to this wonderful vegetable that made it all happen. This guy originally comes from South America. It came to us by crossing the Atlantic twice. First, the Spanish in the 1600s took this to Europe, and it became very popular. It spread all over the place. It became so popular that in Ireland in the 1840s, there was a massive famine that wiped out all of the potatoes. It was a potato famine. It was a blight, a disease, plant disease, that turned these into mush in the ground. And because the Irish were so dependent upon the potato, many of them died of starvation. It was a horrible situation. But anyway, these things came across the Atlantic Ocean the second time to North America, where it landed in the United States, and we have embraced it and used it ever since. So, the potato is king in this dish, but let me show you all of the other wonderful goodies that we have here to make the best tasting potato salad you've ever put in your mouth. Come over this way. Now let's take a look at these beautiful ingredients that we have. First of all, our potatoes. I'm going to be using anywhere from 2.5 to 3 pounds of russet potatoes. You can use any kind of potato you want for this, okay? So if you like those Yukon Golds or the white potatoes or reds, pick what you like. But remember one thing, not all potatoes cook at the same speed. So you're going to have to adjust your cooking time with each different potato you use. Now, to this, I'm also going to be adding in some of this onion. Now, I'm going to want about a 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of diced onion when I'm done with this. And I'm using this red onion because A, I'm wanting to introduce color to this dish. Also, I just love the flavor of that red. They're fantastic onions. Now, I have down here some sweet peppers. Some different colors. Again, we're introducing color to the dish, but also the sweet pepper is going to lend well to this dish. It just seems to work in it wonderfully. The flavors marry perfectly with what's going on here. I'm going to have anywhere from about 3/4 of a cup to a cup of chopped sweet peppers when I'm done, and I'm not dicing these, I'm just cutting rings, so it'll look like there's more than there really is. 1 to 2 cloves of garlic. When I'm finished, about a teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic is what I'm looking for. Back here I have some sweet pickles. Now on the sweet pickles, once I finish dicing these up, I'm going to want to have in the neighborhood of about a 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of sweet pickles. I have 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise. Here I have some mustard. Now I've got 2 different mustards here. 2 tablespoons of a yellow mustard and 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and that's a really light, mild Dijon. It's something I really love. If you can't find those sweet pickles, you can also use relish, or frankly, you can put the 2 together, whatever suits you, okay? Now right here, you know, a lot of folks like to put a little bit of paprika or cayenne on their dishes and stuff like that, and I just don't like sprinkling in raw spice on a cold dish. It just sort of goes against my grain, okay? So what I have here is a prepared chipotle sauce. This is made by a very popular sauce manufacturer here in the United States, and you'll find it over just, you know, where all of the other pepper sauces are. So find your nice chipotle sauce, a little bit of salt, And over here we have some cilantro. The cilantro is going to be a wonderful addition. It's just going to be added as some plucked leaves at the very end as they're stirred in. So let's get right on to cooking all of this up. We're going to start by peeling these potatoes and getting them into some boiling water. Well, the first thing I want to do in preparing my potatoes is just to simply peel them. Now, I've got a potato peeler here, or vegetable peeler is what they call this, that makes this really, really simple and quick. So if you don't have one of these, I recommend it. Otherwise, you're going to be spending some time with a paring knife. Now, you want to just simply work that peel off of there. You don't have to do this. If you prefer a peel-on potato salad, you can certainly do that. Not a problem. Alright, now I just need to wash these off and we'll get those sliced. Now let's get on with cutting up our potatoes for making a potato salad. What I want to do is to produce some little pieces that are on average going to be about 3/4 of an inch square. Now, while I know I can't get perfection in that, I can do my best to get close. Now, again, same thing with the hands, holding them the right way. We're going to make nice, beautiful little pepper slices. Now, the stem end right here, I've already taken part of it off, but I'm going to finish trimming that up for us. Now, I've got a flat surface to keep this from rolling around. It's nice and stable. Let me show you a neat way to dice out an onion. Get your knife good and straight and make a straight cut, straight down on the side of the root, not through it, okay? So just like so. Boom. There's 1/2. Same thing on the other side. Now I have a center section to work with and 2 halves to work with. Now, neat way of doing dicing, and this will give you a perfect diced onion every time. See how I run my knife through that sideways? Then lengthwise, from top of onion to the bottom, I'm going to make some cuts. And I want those to be the size I want my onion to be in the way of dice. So here's some small dice. This is going to be about 3/8 of an inch square on most of it. Turn that onion, straighten it up against my blade. Now, let's make those cross cuts at about the same width as the first cuts. There we go. Now what this gives me is a perfect uniform dice. If you look at that, that's all very, very even. Now we need to go ahead and get our pickles diced up. Now remember, these are a sweet pickle, and what I'm going to do here is to simply, very carefully, half these, okay? And then I want to take those halves and quarter them, like so. And just make some simple cross cuts, and there I have diced out my sweet pickles. Now, beautiful, even. Our garlic. Pull out a couple of cloves of that garlic. There we go. There we go. Now I have a nice fine mince, and I have, I would say, close to 2 teaspoons there. So what I'm going to do is place about that much in there, closer to 1 1/2. And there's our water is now up to a boil. Let's go ahead and get these potatoes down in there. Now I don't want to have boiling water splattering all over me as I'm trying to pour this in. So this becomes a dangerous operation unless I get smart about it. So how about I just take a spoon and gently lower these potatoes right down in there. Now, bring this back to a boil. I'm going to want to watch this closely. I don't want these to overcook. If they get to where they're sort of hazy looking on the outside and they have rounded corners, you've overcooked it, okay? And then you're just going to end up with mashed potatoes. So I want to leave this so that they have sharp corners and that the fork goes in them easily. Now, as my potatoes have begun their cook, over here in a pan, I'm putting a low heat underneath this pan. We're going to put some olive oil in here. Now, earlier I mentioned that I just don't like raw spices in a dish, okay? Now what I'm going to do here is we're going to cook off this raw garlic. It's kind of really a much better flavor that you're going to get from this, and it's going to disperse throughout this dish with a much smaller amount of garlic. If you use raw garlic inside of a potato salad, well, it's going to be bitter, it's going to be harsh, and it's not going to be a welcome kind of thing. So I recommend cooking your garlic off first, getting the flavor into that oil, and then we will combine that oil with other ingredients before putting it down in our potato salad. And this will not take long to cook. All I need to do is just cook this until that garlic becomes a light tan color. It'll be like the color of a shelled peanut. Very light tan. There we go. See that nice light peanut color? We turn off the heat right at that point. I'm going to go ahead and pull the garlic and the oil right down into my mixing bowl. Mixing bowl here is important because that's what I'm going to mix my dressing for this potato salad. So now I can simply let this cool in here, and that won't take it very long. Now it's time for us to check out those potatoes. Let's see how well they're coming along, if they're cooking properly. We'll just pull some up, put a fork in it. You know, you've heard the old test. Okay, it broke that apart fairly easy. I'm turning off the heat now, and I want to run that through a strainer. Just pour your potatoes off into a strainer, and then quickly get them into a refrigerator or a freezer to chill them. And I want to go for a quick chill in my freezer, and we'll push some of these up on the sides. Also, stop cooking, I can use cold water. Quite effective. Now let's go ahead and make our dressing. I have my cooled garlic and olive oil mixture there. And I'm just going to go ahead and put my mustard right down in here. Okay. And you don't have to get every bit of it. Now, our mayo. I'm going to go ahead and get my sauce in here, this chipotle sauce. And I'm also going to need a pinch of salt. This is going to be about a half a teaspoon of salt. So let's go ahead and mix that together. I'm now going to take a moment to prepare my herbs, and all I'm going to do is simply pluck these leaves free and put them down in a bowl. And we'll do that with all of this cilantro. And that's so I don't get a whole bunch of stem in there. And there we go. That's about a quarter cup of cilantro leaves. Now, first thing I want to do is to start with some, not all, some of my dressing. There we go. About half. There we are. And remember, as I told you earlier, how much of that dressing you use really depends on your desire for a really wet salad. Now that looks like too much, but when we get these other ingredients in there, it's going to dissipate some of that dressing. I want to put a little bit of salt in this. Potatoes are salt thirsty, don't worry about that. Go ahead and get onion in here, our peppers, our pickles, and we're going to wait on the herbs. Some of these cilantro leaves. And gently fold it in. A little more. There. My salad is now ready to serve. Okay, beautiful colors. Lovely dressing. If I wanted more dressing, I can go ahead and add it to this. If I wanted it a little bit more sweet, I could start putting in some of that relish. Okay? One thing I do need to do is taste it. So the first thing I want to do is pull out a piece. Looks like some pickle and my potato. Oh my God. Oh, delicious. And those peppers are this fantastic offset to everything. The salt is spot on perfect. All I have to do is serve it up. There it is. That isn't so difficult. There's a lot of cutting, but this is a fun dish to make. It's just not overly intense when it comes to how to make it. But look at this. You get this beautiful product. This gorgeous, gorgeous potato salad. Believe me, oh man, those peppers make all the difference. This wonderful balance of flavor. Just the right amount of acid. Just the right amount of sweet in those pickles. Meeting head on with the savory flavors that we have going on in this. A little bit of sweet in the peppers. The savory in the cilantro. The whole thing just works. This is a fantastic dish. Please give it a try. And I would like to thank you for watching Texas Cooking Today. To my subscribers, thank you very much. And if you haven't subscribed, well gosh, what are you waiting on? Please do. I've got great recipes and much more coming. You folks have a good day. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching Texas Cooking Today, the show where you can get great recipes and the best techniques are taught. Please subscribe to Texas Cooking Today, where you will always find something hot and ready to eat.